The horrifying sounds of Chernobyl. Do monsters roam at night? Asterisk. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into something truly eerie and spine-chilling. Ever heard about the mysterious sounds echoing through the abandoned streets of Chernobyl at night? You might know Chernobyl as the site of the worst nuclear disaster in history, but there's so much more to this place than what the history books tell us. Beyond the radiation and the deserted buildings, there are whispers of the unexplained, sounds that defy logic and tales of creatures that roam when the sun goes down. So grab your snacks, dim the lights, and let's embark on a journey into the heart of the Chernobyl exclusion zone. Do monsters really wander the night there, or is something else at play? Let's find out. The Chernobyl disaster, a haunting legacy. First, let's take a quick trip back to April 26, 1986. Imagine it's a regular night, and suddenly, boom asterisk. Reactor number 4 at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant explodes during a safety test gone horribly wrong. The result? A massive release of radioactive materials, creating one of the most catastrophic nuclear disasters ever. The immediate aftermath was chaotic. The nearby city of Pripyat, once bustling with life and home to nearly 50,000 people, was evacuated in just a few hours. People left everything behind: their homes, their belongings, their memories. The Soviet government established the exclusion zone, a 30-kilometer radius around the plant where radiation levels were dangerously high. Nature began to reclaim the area, and time seemed to stand still. Today, Pripyat is a ghost town, an eerie snapshot of a life abruptly halted. The mysterious sounds of the exclusion zone. Now, here's where things get really spooky. Visitors and researchers who've ventured into the exclusion zone report hearing unexplained sounds that send shivers down the spine. Some describe hearing distant whispers or hushed conversations when no one else is around. Others mention faint cries echoing through empty buildings, like the laughter of children or sobbing voices. Even more unsettling are reports of mechanical noises, clanks, whirs, and humming, emanating from the abandoned reactor or derelict structures. There are actual recordings out there capturing these sounds. Imagine standing alone in an overgrown street, and suddenly, you hear a melody from a bygone era, or footsteps pacing behind you, only for you to turn and find nothing. It's enough to make anyone question reality. The emotional impact on those who've experienced this is profound. Some feel an overwhelming sense of sadness, others a palpable fear, and a few report an inexplicable draw to delve deeper, despite the dread. Possible explanations for the sounds. So, what's going on here? Before we jump to conclusions about ghosts or monsters, let's consider some logical explanations. Firstly, the environment itself can be deceptive. The wind can produce haunting sounds as it whistles through broken windows, rustles leaves, or moves debris. Old, decaying buildings creak, groan, and sometimes even shift, especially at night when temperatures drop. Wildlife has returned to the area in abundance. Animals like wolves, deer, foxes, and birds now roam freely. Their movements and calls, particularly at night, can create sounds that seem unfamiliar or eerie to us. Acoustic phenomena also play a role. In the silence of an abandoned city, sounds can travel in strange ways. Echoes bounce off structures, making it difficult to determine their source. This can make distant noises seem much closer than they are. Some speculate that radiation might affect materials, causing unusual sounds, but there's no scientific evidence to support this. It's more likely that our heightened senses in such an environment make us hyper-aware of every noise. Lastly, the psychological impact cannot be overstated. Being in a place with such a tragic history can amplify feelings of fear and unease. Our minds are powerful and can play tricks on us, especially when we're already on edge. Legends and myths born from tragedy. But let's dive into the legends, because who doesn't love a good spooky story? Over the years, Chernobyl has become the epicenter of numerous myths and tales that blur the lines between reality and the supernatural. One of the most famous is the legend of the black bird of Chernobyl. Workers at the power plant allegedly reported seeing a terrifying creature, a large dark figure with massive wings and piercing red eyes, in the days leading up to the disaster. Some believe this entity was a harbinger of doom, similar to the Mothman of West Virginia folklore. Then there's talk of mutant creatures roaming the exclusion zone. Tales of giant wolves, monstrous fish, and bizarre hybrid animals have circulated widely. These stories often depict creatures affected by radiation, transformed into something beyond the natural. It's the stuff of sci-fi nightmares. Another chilling tale involves shadowy figures or ghosts of former residents, wandering the empty streets, reliving their final moments before evacuation. People claim to have seen apparitions in windows or felt an unexplainable presence nearby. These legends have only intensified the aura of mystery around Chernobyl, making it a hotspot for thrill seekers and paranormal enthusiasts alike. The reality of wildlife in Chernobyl. Let's return to reality for a bit. The absence of humans has turned the exclusion zone into an unintended wildlife sanctuary. Nature has made a remarkable comeback, with flora and fauna thriving in this unique environment. Studies show that animal populations, including wolves, bears, lynxes, and various bird species, have increased significantly. While radiation has caused some mutations at the genetic level, these changes are typically not physically apparent and certainly don't result in monstrous appearances. In fact, the wildlife is generally healthy, and the ecosystem is functioning relatively well. Researchers are fascinated by how nature adapts and persists even in the face of such extreme conditions. It's a testament to the resilience of life. So, while mutant monsters make for great stories, the scientific evidence points to a thriving, albeit slightly altered, natural world. Paranormal investigations and findings. Of course, the legends have inspired many paranormal investigators to explore Chernobyl, equipped with all sorts of gadgets, EMF meters, thermal cameras, spirit boxes, you name it. Some claim to have captured ghostly apparitions on camera or recorded strange voices during EVP, electronic voice phenomena, sessions. Phrases like, "get out," or "help us," have been reported, adding fuel to the supernatural fire. Yet, these findings are often met with skepticism. Factors like equipment interference due to radiation, environmental noises, and psychological suggestibility can lead to misinterpretations. Without concrete, verifiable evidence, it's hard to definitively say that paranormal activity is occurring. The role of media and pop culture. We can't ignore the influence of media on our perceptions of Chernobyl. Movies, TV shows, video games, all have contributed to the mystique and horror associated with the site. Games like Stalker and Call of Duty have depicted Chernobyl as a place teeming with mutants and danger. Films like Chernobyl Diaries play up the horror angle, portraying the exclusion zone as a breeding ground for terror. While these portrayals are entertaining, they blur the lines between fiction and reality. They shape our expectations and can make us more inclined to interpret experiences in line with the stories we've consumed. It's a fascinating reflection of how pop culture can influence our understanding of real-world places. Interviews with experts and eyewitnesses. To get a more balanced view, let's consider insights from those who've spent significant time in the exclusion zone. Scientists who study the area focus on the ecological and environmental aspects. They acknowledge the unique conditions but attribute strange occurrences to natural phenomena rather than the supernatural. Former residents often share heartfelt stories of their lives before the disaster, emphasizing normalcy disrupted by tragedy. While they speak of loss and nostalgia, they rarely mention paranormal experiences. Tour guides and frequent visitors report that while the atmosphere is undoubtedly eerie, most unexplained events have logical explanations. They stress the importance of respecting the site and remembering the human cost of the disaster. Psychological factors and human perception. Delving deeper into psychology, it's clear our minds play a significant role in how we perceive our surroundings, especially in environments like Chernobyl. Phenomena like pareidolia cause us to see patterns or faces in random stimuli, like seeing a figure in a shadow or movement in static objects. Similarly, our ears can misinterpret sounds, especially when we're already on edge. Expectation and suggestion also influence our experiences. If we enter a place believing it's haunted or eerie, our brains are more likely to interpret ambiguous stimuli as confirming that belief. It's a powerful psychological effect that can feel very real. Stress and fear can heighten our senses, making ordinary sounds seem extraordinary. It's a survival mechanism, but in these contexts, it can lead to misinterpretations. Understanding this helps us approach such experiences with a balanced perspective. Debunking the myths. After examining the evidence, it's clear that many of the mysterious sounds and sightings can be explained by natural causes and psychological factors. The creepy noises? Likely a mix of environmental sounds amplified by acoustics and our heightened senses. The monstrous creatures? Wildlife adapting to their environment without any Hollywood-style mutations. While it's fun and exciting to entertain the idea of ghosts and monsters, critical thinking reminds us to look for logical explanations first. It doesn't diminish the allure of Chernobyl but grounds our understanding in reality. So, do monsters roam the night in Chernobyl? Probably not, but that doesn't make the exclusion zone any less fascinating or mysterious. The haunting legacy of the disaster, combined with the echoes of the past and the resilience of nature, creates an atmosphere unlike any other. The sounds heard at night are a blend of environmental factors and the whispers of history. Chernobyl stands as a powerful reminder of human error and the indomitable spirit of nature. It's a place where stories, both real and imagined, intertwine, captivating our imaginations and challenging our perceptions. What do you think? Are the mysterious sounds of Chernobyl supernatural, or is there a more grounded explanation? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and let's get the conversation started. If you enjoyed this exploration into one of the world's most enigmatic places, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you won't miss any future adventures. Thanks for joining me on this journey. Stay curious, stay open-minded, and as always, take care.